Hello everybody and welcome back. Now we are in Old Pinner Cove today, and as part of my new build I wanted to split it into two halves, because on Monday we started the build for the semi-detached houses that are part of the competition. And thank you for everyone who's taken part in the poll. I will be keeping that open, so if you haven't voted yet, please vote. You are literally voting for one of the elements, so earth, air, wind, earth, air, fire and water. Not wind, air. And the two leading ones will be the inspiration I use from what we're building today, or starting to build today, to actually furnish these semi-detached houses. So today we are starting the hardware store. Now, of course, Old Pinner Cove needs a hardware, and yes, the duplexes, I keep calling them duplexes. The semi-detached houses are in the suburbs, but those lots there aren't really what we're looking for. So we're going to build the hardware, the huge, big, super hardware in Old Pinner Cove. So let's get started. You'll see that I have already, I'm going to do a land hole. You'll see I've already put down a small pavement here. I've also sectioned off here for an alleyway, because I think we're going to need a couple of dumpsters and access for the guys to actually get in and out and empty them. So I chose the side that has the existing dumpster here in the build already, and the next block is going to be the underground parking. So we are going to need to create a large land hole for underground parking. Now I'm using my own personal, hold on, am I doing this right? I think so. What the heck, let's do that. Oops, I missed a spot. My own personal knowledge of hardwares, so it's literally going to be a case of when I go to the hardware store, this is what I see here in South Africa. So we are going to probably use concrete on the walls here. What is my block doing? It's doing an outward block. Awesome. Now, yes, we're in the right place. And I think, what do you say? Over 3.6 meters down? I think will be fairly reasonable. Let's see if I, oopsie. Yeah, that should be fine. In fact, I might have to adjust this, because what I've done is we've got incoming cars from both sides, or, well, one is going to be the in and one is going to be the out. So I think I want to extend this wall over and take it from here, and then we can always make it bigger or smaller depending on how we're feeling. Normally where I am, we have these huge hardware stores with the underground parking. It's not just the underground parking, it's also the collections, drop off, delivery, the whole toot. So that's what I am looking for here. Did I add an extra block there? Probably. Yep, that's fine. Take that one off. Let's not get sidetracked by size. So this will be not only the underground garage in parking for the actual building, but it will be 3, 6. It will be connected via stairs and a lift or elevator, and it will be where you can actually go down, collect your whatever you've bought, and you can then take it home. I'm just wondering, do we want concrete on the floor in here, or do we want old concrete? Let's start with old concrete. We can always change that. Alright, let's wow, this is huge. I can almost feel the game cringing when I do this. Okay, so that is the basement of the store. Now we are going to build the store above it. Now mostly what I see when I see one of these large hardware stores is literally a box, and that box is usually made from metal. So I think I want an entrance in between here, and yes, I'm just putting an entrance in. I'm not going to measure, because you know me, that would be hard work. So let's get these blocks. I quite like these tiles, and we can 3.24 meters. I'm going to go right across to here with the tiles, and then we'll give this a little bit of a bump out and then build the building around it. So let's see what we are going to choose. Normally it's just we don't really have damages, so should we go with like a white? Let's start with white and decide if we hate it. Something like that. And let's turn it so it's going upwards. Now I'm thinking we are going, let's stick at 9 meters, and we can go from there. I think the entrance can be about that. Because you know, with these things you've usually got like rafters, and you can actually see the interior of the roof in a lot of the places. Some of them actually have a second floor where you're actually I want to have, I know there's some really nice coffee shops in the area that actually have basically attached to the hardware store, so I wouldn't mind having like a little coffee area. Okay, that didn't work, did it? And we can then have the door going out to the coffee shop from there, and I fully intend to have entrances on both sides. So that's 2.2. So we can actually have sort of a central area, information, the whole toot in the middle here, and then you've got the different departments on the sides. And then if we want to, if we run out of space, you think we're going to run out of space? I don't think so. We can actually build a second floor over this area here, or over the garden area. So there is that. Let's build on the inside here. Why are you? I'm not going to even argue. I'm just going to build. We can clean it up later. Okay, we have the start of something, and I think that's pretty good. Now we just have to put the floor inside. Is that okay? As I say, we can clean it up later. Okay, the start of the hardware store. Okay. Now the walls, I'm not going to do a roof, and we can always extend the walls. So I think what we need to do is a central area here where we can get a lift. And we're going to need a fairly big lift and the option for stairs. So if I take it from here and go to there, what do we have? 10.4. So 26 is the middle, and because it's always the middle like that, oh, I'm not flying anymore, we can consider that as the start of the lift. Let's do that again. And we'll see how big we want it. We can always shrink that down. And I'm thinking of a double-sided lift, so you can come into the lift from this side or from this side. And then we need some doors. You can see I was measuring the road into the parking with the, do we want sliding or do we want, I suppose sliding would be better. Now here again, we have to decide what, I like the smaller handles, but for here let's go big. We also want to decide on the color of the hardware store. And of course we are going to need a bazillion lights in there, and that's going to cause trouble. So we'll start with this and work our way in. We do have tills, cash registers, so that's good. And I think that's going to be fun. Okay, I would like to do the same thing over here, so we can actually have our, possibly our garden area out there, our restaurant, and perhaps like a little tea garden, and then a nursery. So we will actually have plants for sale. Many plants for sale. I actually spent a bit of time looking at my local departments, well, hardware store, and it was quite interesting because I have got, yes, it's a piece of real paper, building materials, wood, electrical and plumbing, tools, kitchen and storage, tiling and flooring, bathrooms, home comfort, which is like fireplaces and air cons, garden and landscaping, paint, lighting, and then decor, which deals with furniture. So are we going to fit it all in here? Maybe. I don't promise, but maybe we will. And if needs be, we will have a second story. Now, the question I have here is, how big do we do this lift? And I guess we will, let's do it in literally white metal to start with, and we can then take it down if we need to. So if I do that, 1, 2, that's 1.4 meters. We are going to need at least that high. What do you say? And yes, we're going to build a lift. Non-functional, unfortunately. But I think that's big enough that a lot of the goods can be taken down. Or do we want it right there? It's literally right in the middle. Should we not put it on the side? We can make this the information desk if we want to. Maybe that's better. Okay, let's see. We would need a window. Don't give me grief. Does that make sense? Come on. There we go. Do we do the windows, or do we actually just do an open area? Yeah, I suppose that will be better. How high am I doing this? 1 meter. How high is the counter? I can never remember. Yep, that'll work. There we go. Information on both sides. And a very small door. Should we do like a sauna door? It's glass. And we can't do it in metal. That's interesting. Dang it. Okay, so this can be metal. There we go. Hi, sir. What can I get you today? If you walk down there, you'll find the paints. That works. Let me know if you like the color of the tiles on the floor. I thought they were fairly neutral and they worked pretty well. And then you've got enough space for probably 2 counters. Doesn't have to be cupboards, just sort of like a counter. All right, then let's go back to our lift. Perhaps we should do it here. How big is that? That's 2 meters. What did I do here? 2.4. That'll be fine. This is the... Oh. How high did we say? 2.8. And then it doesn't have to be a double-backed lift. And then we can use our little block. That one. Or we can use... Hold on. Let's just throw the block there because I don't actually know if you can do it with this. Oh yes, we can. Awesomeness. Let's do that. That's just a little bit higher than the door, so let's do it the same height as the door. Okay, that works. And then all we have to do is move this one out a smidgen. Oops. So we have that slight overlap there. I just don't like this metal. Alright, don't sell it. You can see I've changed nothing today yet. Let's do that. Yeah, it looks better. And then we can use our little blocky. Now, in the fair, we used the cheese for the triangle, but it doesn't work very well as an up and down button for the lift or the elevator. You must excuse me. I call it a lift and it just is a thing. So I will just have to get used to calling it something else. I think I'm going to extend these down because then I know how wide the lift doors are. You know? I think that works. Alright. Does that make sense? I think so. So let's go here. That one. I missed one. I missed that little bit there. Okay, now for the up and down buttons, I discovered that was so long ago, I discovered the pie. Now if you look at the bottom of the pie, it actually makes a good up or down button. So we'll be buying 2 pies here. And probably one of the, let's see how, that looks pretty good. Can we do this in metal? Yes, we can. As the actual button. Do we want it to be a different color? Probably not. Should we do, maybe. Let's see. We got to do the whole, what am I doing? Grid snapping thing. And that's got to go all the way around. All right, let's see. It's about the right height. There we go. I love it. Now we can actually sink that into the wall so it's just a button. And it's just a slice of pizza. I mean pie. Oh, no, we don't want to go down here, do we? Why am I thinking down? Up. We've got to go down. Unless we do another floor. Maybe I'll keep that in reserve. There we go. So there's our basic start. Let's find our chipboard again and maybe do it in that's not going to work. Well, let's just get it and then see what it looks like. I could probably just paint it on the wall, but I mean, you know. something like that. And then if we wanted to, we could put the up and down arrows on the top here with this thing. I hate this thing, but it has its uses. Alright, can we do, we really can't. I want glow in the dark. I want glass that actually, we don't have any sort of triangular lights, do we? It's too light, but it will be a good start. All right. Oh, dang it, I always forget that. This is just a pain. There we go. Much easier to do it up there. Ooh. We want that. No, we don't want that. Let's find the middle. That's pretty good. Ooh. Needs to be brighter green, doesn't it? Yeah, that looks ugly. Hold on, let's just bring it closer. There we go. And then we can make one of them brighter, both of them brighter, and then we go downstairs and do the same thing again. Hello. Now we know the parameters of this lift. 2.2 meters including where, okay. Oh, that's okay, that'll be fine. We'll worry about the ceiling at a later stage, you know? Awesome. Is that right? Yes, it is. Perfect. Now we can take these off because we don't want it to be that big. And we can just go pinch it. Let's get the doors. really want, we can always have one of the lifts open with some stuff in it. That's interesting. How is that a different size? Probably because I made them a little bit bigger and they're poking through the ground. Now it's fine. Let's move that over. Yeah. A smidgen, because now it's not even. I might just speed through some of this, but I haven't sort of shown an actual build for a while, so I thought, let me show you all the nitty and the gritty. Is that in the middle? Almost. Better. Let's take that and see if there's any bits that we need to. There we go. And we need to bring this down again. Okay. That looks better. Alright, and then we can bring these down. And build this again. And there you go. Okay, let's not mess with the grid snapping, shall we? How did I manage to mess with the grid snapping? Better. Ew, too close. Better. Okay, so we are somewhere. So now we are going to have to build the ramp. And that's going to be fun. I think I'm going to take this back a bit. Let's see, 1 meter. And just do our lane hole here. That's better. Man. Always end up missing one little. Seriously? Everything. No, not everything. Not everything. Only about. No. Yeah, everything. No. Oh, you know. Chop, chop, chop. Hold on. Did I? Okay. Okay, now it comes to the fun part, because the dumpster is there, we're going to have to get someone to be able to get across to throw the rubbish away. So we are going to have a slope and then a turn into here, which is my favorite thing. Not. I can either use these damn blocks, which I'm probably going to have to use. Can I please think? How far do we want to go before we do the turn? Okay, let's do the grid snapping. That usually works. And now we've got to do the sloping. And as you slope it, you see it makes the whee! It's gonna have to be better than that. All I want is like halfway. Is that about halfway? Yes, it is. Two meters, 1.6. Not quite, but it'll be okay. All right, let's take this. And borrow this. Let's see if we can get it to look right. Ugh. What I'm trying to do is line it up mostly with this. As you can see, that one. So let's see how we do. That's better. Awesome. Actually worked, which is unusual. Okay, so they will go down this ramp. We are going to have a turn here, and then they're going to go down another ramp. Now the question is, do we do the turn with this? Probably. I think not that way. This way. Why am I using that like that? Because that is not going to work, is it? That way. Chop. No, not that way either. Why am I using this? I don't know. Because all we need to do, hold on, you go over there. All we need to do is build a section. It's 3.2. That'll maybe work. And then we put the same room down there. Don't need triangles. Don't need those stinking triangles. Ah. Very steep ramp. It's not quite hitting the ground, is it? Okay. Let's take that up. Let's see if we can resize this in mid-air, or if it's gonna, ooh, that's unusual. I like it. Never happens. Have they taken the damn, what's that thing's called? Yeah, okay. It's closest, damn it. Can I? No. Okay, they haven't. I thought they had taken the damn blonde moment. Sorry. I have been blonde in my life. Oh, freeze! Clearly have issues. Okay, so how about if I want to make you, dang it. Okay. Okay, that pretty much works. It's not the perfect solution, but you know what? I can live with that. So now let's get rid of that and copy that. See if we got it right here. you the right size. Yes, you are. Awesome. Now the question is, have I, whoopsie, lined these up? Let's take our brush and look at let's go for yellow and see what that looks like. Not bad. Awesome. Let's just make it pretty here. Okay, so that one actually has lined up beautifully. That one, not so much. I will faff with it a little bit. Like that. And look at that. We have ramps to get in and out. They're not perfect because I can just imagine people having a little hiccup, and I don't think a car would fit through there. Yeah, that might be an issue. Hold on. I bet you I can't even walk up this ramp. Nope. Damn it. It's not deep enough. Okay. You know what? We've got the gist. This is ground level. We're going to have to take it down a little bit further. But that is for me to worry about, and we'll come back and look at it next time. But we have our lift, which will take us up to here, and we've got our information / customer care booth right in the middle of the store. Do I want it there? I don't know. I might just want a display there. Let me think about that. Then we are going to start with departments. Now, we've got a bazillion departments here. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 departments. We might need another level here because, okay, say for example, let's just look at ladders. Okay, so if we have a display of ladders here, for example, okay, that's already huge, and I need to make the roof taller. So if we want a display of geysers, we can get those on the wall. Now if we look at cabinets, storage, tall storage, and we go for our garage shelves. Look how tiny these garage shelves are in here. We could always use that as our roof height, sort of the double height of the shelves. And then we could always put another level up here, run the lifts up again, and we could maybe have, I don't know, furniture upstairs. That might work. Maybe the tea garden upstairs. So lots and lots to ponder. I think I'd like to do a display here of, like, I don't know, some cool paints, because if we come here and we buy paint, we can actually buy cans of paint. They got no lids on them, but we can have however much paint you want on display. And then my other thought process was, that's not good. That might work. Let's see. Where's my little block? Okay, this is my thought process. So if I put a whole bunch of these little blocks together, okay, then, so for example, we can go paint, plain paint, and we can go pastels or grey paint. So we actually can do paint swatches. I mean, how cool is that? Whoops. So we can actually do paint swatches. And then if we wanted to, we could like put up a whole, if we wanted to do like a wallpaper, and we wanted to sort of promote the wallpaper. Alright, let's see, where's that new one? There it is there. Go with a like soft green. And then we could go to our surfaces, and we can go to wallpaper, and we can actually get, if I can find it and talk at the same time, and we can put it on the shelf. So yay, so many options, so many ways to fill the store. How big is a bed? So if we wanted to, like, okay, this is on special today, we could have like a whole display. I mean, how cool. So yes, I'm looking forward to playing with this. It'll probably drive me crazy eventually, but you know. And if we wanted, on the other section, we could do a whole range of, so for example, let's find some medium pots. Let's go with a very basic, let's go with a basic plant. And we can have like rows of pots over here with our choice of, can we put like a little skinny shrub in here? Yes, we can. That's probably too big for that. Yes, it is. So we're going to have to go with these. A whole range of not doing so well. We don't have a mid-sized one. Dang. So yes, endless options. Wow. Okay. I'm going to leave it here because now I'm going to sit and work out where the till points are going to be. I think I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to maybe put like till points here and then till points on the other side, so you can shop, come through the till points and then either go downstairs or walk out the door. And then once I've done that, work that out, then we need to name the store. So guys, I am going to leave it here. Lots of fun coming. I gotta make I gotta make the parking a little bit deeper, otherwise the cars will get stuck coming down and going back up again. But I'll show you that next time. Please take the poll and let me know what I should call the hardware store. Should we call it the smart hardware, the old pinnacle of hardware, the DIY dreams hardware? I don't know. So thank you so much for watching. If you've got this far, please subscribe. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.